the front foyer. Now, I wanted to make this a very warm, welcoming room, so I covered it from floor to ceiling in a tan shag carpet. Isn't it nice and quiet? And it gets very warm in the summer. I've had people tell me that once they walk into this room, they don't want to go into the rest of the house. Isn't that nice? I like this room the most because you can't break anything in here, not even if you try. You could throw a vase straight up into the air and it would just hit the ceiling, bounce off a wall, land on the floor, not even have the tiniest chip in it. And the whole thing would take place in complete silence. There's a spiral staircase on our right that leads up to the second floor, but we're not going to be visiting that floor today. I don't mean to sound bossy, it's just that I have to set boundaries. And if I asked you where you wanted to go, I'd have to go the way you wanted to go, but if another person listened to this and wanted to go, say, to the rumpus room in the basement, then I'd have to write a whole different version of this audiobook for them. Another version would mean the photo on the package would have to be slightly different, and I'd have to add a .01 to the title or something to signify that it was a new version of the audiobook. I don't think it would work to put one of those yellow stars that say all new version on the cover because really, the rest of the audiobook would be the same except for this one chapter. I mean, I can't open up the possibility that every chapter could be customized for every listener. It would make me seem insecure. When you have an idea, you've got to stick to it. My grandma used to shout that at me when I was a child. I knew she was trying to be supportive, but why did she have to shout it? She never yelled at my brother. She'd just creep into his room at night and whisper, "All that glitters is not gold." Come to think of it, maybe I got off lucky because he's been scared of anything glittery ever since. It's really very sad. He lives a glitter-free half-life. He can't ever go to Mardi Gras. Children don't want to do arts and crafts with him. He can't even look at a piñata. But hey, this chapter isn't about my brother's grandma-induced neuroses. It's about my beautiful home. So, let me throw open these French doors and lead you into my living room. To the left, the length of the wall is covered with that nature scenery wallpaper like they used to have at the dentist's office when I was a kid. This particular scene is a lake at autumn, beautiful fiery reds and oranges with a calm of a dark blue lake in the background. It's gorgeous and scuff-resistant. That sets the perfect tone for my sunken conversation pit, the centerpiece of the room. These were very popular back in the 70s, when people were really interested in talking. I find now they're just as useful for drinking and waiting for dinner to be served. All of the furniture in the pit is brown and the carpeting is a dark apricot. I wanted the overall effect to be pit-like, but most people don't get it. A lot of people assume I'm colorblind. To the right, I have a wall of floor-to-ceiling windows that look out over my professional ping-pong court. Comedy is my life, but ping-pong is my passion. It's great to sit here in the summer and watch a match. If you're in the pit, you're watching at about knee level, but that's when you realize the game of ping-pong is all in the knees. It's awe-inspiring. Let's plow ahead and go into this back hallway. The kitchen is on our left, but there's nothing too exciting to show you in there, unless you love sponges. I had everything in my kitchen made of sponge. That way the spill cleans itself up and no one ever cuts their finger. But it's not that interesting. Just very bouncy to walk around in. Now, this back hallway stretches 100 yards in both directions. This not only helps reduce sound when I'm having late-night parties and babysitting, but I can do my wind sprints without having to go outside. These are the things that you dream of when you're house hunting, but you don't think you'll ever actually find. At the end of each hallway are matching guest bedrooms that have been decorated to be the mirror image of each other. I loved the idea when I thought of it until I realized you had to look at one room, walk 200 yards, look at the other room, and then think about how they were the same but opposite. It's not as freaky as I wanted it to be. It kind of just seems like a hotel. This first guest bedroom here to our right has its own shower, sauna, and karaoke machine. I know it sounds extravagant, but it was here when I moved in. I think it's the perfect combination. You can take a sauna to warm up your vocal cords and free your throat of any phlegm. Then you hop into the shower and crank up the karaoke machine for some of the best shower singing you've ever done in your life. It's the kind of setup I never knew I needed before, and now I can't live without it. In fact, a lot of the really fancy stuff here, like the second-floor Olympic-sized swimming pool and the tanning bed breakfast nook, came with the house. The man who had this house built was the guy who invented doing lunch. Apparently he made a mint off of that idea. So when he was designing his new dream home, the sky was the limit. He lived here for 2 years and then got an idea for a dreamier home. That happens all the time here in Hollywood. Dreams are a dime a dozen, and so are the homes that are built because of them. So, that's the whole tour. I mean, I could show you the grounds, but I don't want to get my slippers all grimy. Besides, the gardeners haven't trimmed the topiaries in a while, so the hedge that's supposed to look like a dolphin looks like a dolphin with a beard and pants. Here, I'll just have you picture a beautiful garden in your mind, whatever a beautiful garden means to you, and then spray some Glade. That's just what my backyard is like. In fact, that's what everyone's backyard is like in Hollywood. Thank you for coming into my humble home, listener. I hope it was all that you imagined it to be, and more. Now, if I could just ask you to let yourself out that screen door right past the stained glass window depicting me performing live on stage, it would be such a help. Toodaloo! Things to be grateful for. I'd read somewhere that it's good to keep a gratitude journal. We forget how many great things there are in our lives, and when you start jotting them down and really get introspective about even the littlest of things, it's amazing how all of the terrible things in life don't seem as bad. Gratitude can surprise you. Once you start seeing things in a positive way, you can make almost anything seem like a gift. At first, it's difficult to get to the things that matter. My journal started off like this. I'm grateful for air. I need it to breathe. I'm grateful for food. I need it to live. I'm grateful for water. It's what my body is 80% of. Then, after listing 5 pages of life-sustaining needs, I, as you probably already are, became angry with my journal and decided I needed to dig a little deeper. Animals don't talk. At first I thought, oh, that's a shame. Poor things can't communicate to us. But then I thought, if some people are annoying, think about how bad it would be to come home from work and listen to your dog or cat tell you what they did all day. First, they'd berate you for not paying enough attention to them. Well, it's about time. Seems like you've been gone forever. I have no concept of time, and I'm aging faster than you. You'd think you'd want to spend as much time with me as you could. Why'd you even get me? To pet me once in a while? Oh,